we've had a lot of questions.
That's uncontroversial.
Yeah, you might need to break up this. So Neil MacArthur and Angela Green ask, when can Cambridge City motorists celebrate the reopening of Mill Road Bridge? And they ask, how much longer do we need to wait? By contrast, Edward de Fonseca asked, will you commit to keeping the bus gate on Mill Road Bridge in place if quantifiable support is demonstrated by local residents? So, tell us about your view on Mill Road Bridge.
I went to a meeting with Mill Road traders and there were councillors from all sorts of different parties and business people, local residents, both pro and anti the bus gate there. And the message I kind of said to them, was this, I don't come from Cambridge, right? So I come from Peterborough. And I see something unique like Mill Road Bridge, Mill Road. And I don't think you quite realise how lucky we are as a city that you are. You've got somewhere as special as Mill Road. You've got all sorts of different shops, long history, independent retailers, whether they're hospitality, whether they're selling things such as carpets or whatever. It's a unique road full of unique characters, unique people, and it's special. It's special. And if you ruin it, then it's going to be very difficult to ever make that come back. It's unique. There's no doubt that a lot of the traders along Mill Road point to national insurance rises and business rates and all of that. There's no doubt that a lot of those traders on that road are suffering. Post office, the postmaster in that post office, his takings for non-postal stuff are down exponentially. I think it's 68% in light of kind of takings he's got on non-postal retail services are down that much. You can't survive when your takings are down that much. And the bus gate, I'm afraid, has had a profound impact on businesses up and down Mill Road. And so that meeting, a lot of that was dedicated to other things we might do on Mill Road in terms of trying to set up an improvement plan on 1, 3, 5 years. The elephant in the room is the bus gate. You cannot deny that closing that bridge has had a profound impact. And that's why, I know not everyone will agree, that's why Mill Road Bridge should open. I think it's been a failure. I don't think it's affected the impact on businesses has been terrible. There's a review that's coming up with Cambridgeshire County Council. I've written to Cambridgeshire County Council, set out some of the things that I think they should be considering when they review that decision. But the other thing to consider is, I've made my views absolutely clear. But the other thing to consider is that devolution is changing. And powers that mayors have are changing. Powers on key route networks, other powers that devolution, the new bill will give us, but other powers that the government may give us, because Andy Burnham believes, if he becomes Prime Minister, in devolution. It allows, believes in mayors having more and more power. And if and when I have the power, I will open Mill Road Bridge.
So you would require devolution powers to do that, dedicate a key route, something like that?
Key route networks are potentially one way we might look at reopening Mill Road Bridge. But I hope the Cambridgeshire County Council conduct the review in the right way, look at the impact that they've had on traders, and avoid things such as this, and just reopen that.
Okay. We've had a number of other questions about Mill Road, the impact of it, and also investing in it. Do we have Martin Lucas Smith here?
Let's talk to them about
Martin, would you like to ask your question about transport policy?
I can't remember exactly what I wrote, but I was very encouraged to see the meeting. Very encouraged to see the meeting last week, in which I think there was a lot of consensus about the many things that could be improved, and so I suppose my question would be, do you feel that the kind of very successful schemes that the Conservatives have done in March and St Neots, that same level of investment could be found through the Mayor's office to improve Mill Road with the many things that both the Traders Association and other groups agree with?
Well, it's important to recognise that the plans that happened in March, plans that happened in St Neots, they were all worked on plans. It wasn't just, here you go, here's a load of money, crack on with it. There had to be a plan there in place in order to secure that funding. The challenge that I gave to everyone in that room was more about unites us and divides us, ignoring the bridge for a second. Ignore the bridge for a second, which we desperately needs to reopen in my view, but if we ignore that for a second, there's lots of things that could be done along Mill Road that could protect that very special asset. But once it's gone, whether it's responsible, whether it's the bridge or a lack of investment, once it's gone, it's gone. Okay, and it'll be very difficult to bring back. So my challenge was So what can we agree on that needs to happen to support the trades, to support that community for 1, 3 and 5 years? Not my job to tell you what those things should be. What I'm looking for is a bit of leadership, okay? And I felt sorry for poor old Alex Beckett, got a bit of a hard time there because he was kind of pointed at and said, well, you said this a year ago, you said this 2 years ago, and there's our money, and what about the £1 million you've raised to push stairs, why is that going to Millwall Bridge? And he did look like a bit of a rabbit caught in headlights. I'm not into blood sports, and I felt quite sorry for him in that regard. But what needs to happen is the county council, Alex and whoever, the city council, Katie, who I think lives around Millwall, I myself need to come together with some of the councils. And if there is a plan over 1, 3 or 5 years, some of the improvements that we need, let's see how we might be able to support them.
Elizabeth Walter